What are we discussing today?
I'll tell you in a bit. But before that, can I ask you a few questions?
Here we go again. Sure.
What do letters start with?
A, B, C.
Great. What do numbers start with?
1, 2, 3.
Awesome. What does music start with?
A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi.
Wicked smart. What about love? What does love start with?
A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi. L, O, V.
That was a pretty good guess. Rhymes with the other ones. But no.
I don't know, then.
Love starts with you and me.
Not bad. So, what are we talking about today?
We're going to discuss about Asian American exceptionalism. But we're going to separate this topic into 3 episodes.
In this episode, we're going to define Asian American exceptionalism and discuss the role of tiger parenting, or the more commonly known tiger mom, in association with Asian American exceptionalism.
In the second episode, we're going to dive into what we believe to be the main causes of Asian American exceptionalism.
In the third episode, we're going to discuss how Asian American exceptionalism affects Pushy and I, the Asian American population as a whole, other race, and why we think it is likely not possible to get rid of it to a certain degree.
Howdy folks, welcome to our channel. I am Pushy.
I'm Mushy.
And we're the Pushy Mushy, yeah! We will do our best to combine facts with humor, but if we do make mistakes, please let us know and we will do our best to correct. Please like or dislike, hopefully not dislike, subscribe, comment, share, and press that bell icon.
Great! So, let's start by asking, what is Asian American exceptionalism?
It is the belief that Asian Americans are intrinsically brighter and more hardworking.
What does intrinsically mean?
It means something within a person's gene or DNA. In this case, it is implying that Asian Americans are naturally or genetically brighter and more hardworking than other races.
Is it true?
I think this is total BS, but some folks believe in this.
So how did this belief even get started?
If you look at the over-representation of Asian Americans in top-tier universities or colleges in America, wouldn't you sort of wonder, why are all these Asians here?
Well, that's a valid point. But weren't Asian Americans viewed as illiterate, filthy, uneducated, and somewhat dumb just less than a century ago?
You're absolutely right. So what changed?
The immigration policies after 1965 were the difference maker.
Because immigration policies after 1965 favored individuals with higher levels of education, many Asian immigrants after 1965 were all of a sudden more educated compared to their counterparts before 1965.
This in turn gave rise to a success frame for Asian Americans, shaping many of the future Asian Americans into what was known as the model minority.
Asian Americans are often perceived as academically accomplished. In fact, Asian Americans are often expected to be academically accomplished. And to a certain degree, many of us Asian Americans have fulfilled that expectation, almost reinforcing this belief that Asian Americans are naturally gifted in academic matters, but there is simply nothing innate about our academic accomplishment.
Also, if we were to compare Chinese immigrants in the US versus Chinese immigrants in Spain, or second-generation Chinese immigrants in the US versus second generation of Chinese immigrants in Spain, research has shown that the difference in academic achievement is actually significant.
So this belief that Asian Americans are simply innately more gifted academically does not make sense. But then, what is the driving force for some of us Asian Americans to be so academically accomplished in others' eyes?
Some believe it is how our parents raised us, which brings us to our next topic. Let's start with the common term applied to our race often. What is tiger parenting?
Tiger parenting is a form of strict parenting, commonly and stereotypically assigned to Asian parents, especially first-generation immigrant Asian parents.
The term tiger mom is way more common than tiger dad. In fact, Pushy and I have never heard anyone describing another Asian father or father in general as tiger dad.
That means Asian dads are generally more kind and loving than Asian moms.
It's not true.
See what I mean? What I meant was Asian dads might be more self-destructive and self-abusive.
That's also not true, but we'll let that one slide for now.
Per Wikipedia, Professor Chua from Yale introduced the concept of tiger mom to the mainstream media. From there, we then came to associate tiger moms or tiger parenting with Asian parents who are very strict on raising their kids, typically for extraordinary academic achievements.
In the mainstream media, tiger parents or tiger moms are often depicted as Asian parents who relentlessly drive their kids to study crazy hard, even at the expense of their children's well-being mentally.
I'm not going to lie, this form of tiger parents does exist, and I personally have come across a few. But in reality, at least from talking to our friends, peers, and colleagues, all races included, this type of tiger parents only makes up a very small fraction of Asian parents.
In fact, we believe most Asian parents are loving and caring. And we also know most of our non-Asian friends and colleagues actually think of Pushy and I, and the typical Asian parents are fairly loving and caring parents.
Maybe our friends and colleagues are just pretending.
Don't make baseless claims.
I mean, maybe our non-Asian friends and colleagues secretly think we're mean and cruel parents.
Don't make baseless claims times 2.
I'm sorry. I mean, maybe all of our non-Asian friends and colleagues hate us.
Told you don't make baseless claims. This is the 3rd time. If you were my kid, this is what happens.
Now we have introduced and explained the concept of tiger mom or tiger parenting. We're going to reflect whether our parents were tiger parents or not.
Or whether Pushy and I were tiger cubs or not.
This is actually quite interesting because both of our families are first-generation immigrant families, and that actually fits the most classic stereotype of what tiger parents are, meaning first-generation Asian immigrants, as stated before.
So, do you consider yourself a tiger cub?
I don't think so.
But aren't you academically accomplished?
I'm not here to brag about myself, but I acknowledge the fact that most people think I am academically accomplished and most people think I am Asian.
You are Asian.
You're right, I'm Asian. But my point is that just because I'm Asian and academically accomplished doesn't mean I'm a tiger cub.
Pushy makes a good point. We believe tiger parenting is a process and not necessarily the end result. And this process doesn't necessarily have a whole lot to do with the final result.
Correct. Tiger parenting can certainly be associated with academic accomplishment, but we have also seen plenty of Asians who are academically accomplished without experiencing tiger parenting, such as myself, as well as Asians who are not academically accomplished, but raised by someone whom we would consider as a tiger mom. Are you a tiger cub?
I don't think so. To be fair, my parents did want me to focus more in school instead of other areas as I was growing up. And they sternly expect me to complete my homework on time and take my exams and graduate from high school. Heck, they even expect me to graduate from college.
I do think that focusing more in school is somewhat of a common theme here. For example, my mom also wanted me and my brother to focus more on school-related assignments when we grew up, though I'm not sure with what she had accomplished academically, what made her think she could ask us to focus so much in school, other than the obvious fact that she was our mom.
She's still your mom and she's my mother-in-law, so be respectful.
I'm just referring to at the time and therefore the past tense.
Then you should have clarified.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, we know the media portrayal of what the tiger moms are is an exaggeration, and we do not believe tiger parenting is the cause of Asian American exceptionalism. So how do we explain so many of us being highly academically accomplished?
Next episode, we're going to discuss what we believe to be the main drivers or reasons why non-Asian Americans view Asian Americans as academically accomplished. Smart in math, brilliant in science, and musically talented. We're also going to discuss the unique culture many Asian parents adopt, in which we believe to be the main element for success for some Asian Americans, including myself and perhaps Mushy, depending on how you view success. We're the Pushy Mushy. Thanks for watching.
Bam.